Today we are going to do the grammar work. First of all, we have to complete our last exercise of preposition. So all of you open your books, page number 58. Last exercise, page number 58. In these sentences, some of the sentences have used incorrect prepositions. We have to underline them and you have to write the correct prepositions, okay? So I'm going to give you 2 minutes time. Go through this exercise and underline the wrong prepositions and write the correct prepositions, okay? Exercise I. Do it. Then we'll start the next chapter. Yes, Fatma.
Can I do the first one?
Yes.
The show begins at 4 o'clock and we should reach the venue half an hour of advance. Correct?
In advance. In advance. In advance.
In
Okay? In advance. Okay? It's not.
टीचर
Uh,
थोड़ा सा बता दें हमें कैसे पता लगेगा कि मतलब कि ये वाली गलत है
beta, देखिए. First of all, because we have done the whole chapter of prepositions and I've told you
Yes.
where you have to put in, where you have to put at, where you have to put on, where you have to put off.
Yes.
Okay. So because it is indicating time, the sentence is the show begins at 4 o'clock. At, I've told you at, it comes with small
Yes.
stations.
Time.
At comes with time, at night, at dawn, at dusk. So you have to remember these things, okay, where we are putting the prepositions. And we should reach the venue half an hour dash advance. It's indicating the time, so you have to put in advance. It's half an hour off
Okay.
advance cannot be used. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Like for example,
Yes.
she won't talk to me until I promise never to laugh. With a shout, with things like that, we have to put at. So you are going to
Yes.
put to laugh at her again. Do you understand, Fatma, now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now who will do the third and fourth? Yes, who will do third and fourth? Number 3 and number 4. Yes, Iman. Do number 3 and number 4.
Lady sitting at the corner table with my mother is a famous writer.
Any mistake in this sentence?
No,
No, this is the correct sentence. The lady sitting at the corner table with my mother is a famous writer. Okay, that is correct. Yes. Number 4.
I went to see the film with my little sister and she cried most of the time.
Very good. Most of the time. We cannot use by the time, most of the time. Okay? It's the word used as most of the time. So it is most of the time. Good, Iman. Next. Who will do? Yes, Faisal, will you do it? You haven't attended the class before.
Yes,
You can
miss.
try, okay? Yes, Faisal, do the fifth one
Among
and the
all my
sixth one.
cousins, among all my cousins, I get along best by Nina.
What is the mistake?
Yes,
Preposition mistake.
yes.
So
I
correct
don't
it,
know.
Faisal. You don't
I
know.
don't.
Anybody who can try? Okay. Yes, anybody who can try? Fatma, will you try?
Yes. I don't know, but I can try. Among all my cousins, I get along best by Nina. Best with
If
Nina.
you with Nina, good. If it indicates that it's your friendship, okay, I get along
Yes.
best with Nina.
Okay.
Okay, correct answer. Yes. The chief guest spoke. You people have missed the fifth one. The chief guest spoke a few words for the audience. We cannot spoke a few words for the audience. We are not speaking for the audience. We are speaking to the audience. So the right preposition is to. The chief guest spoke a few words to the audience, like we are making a speech to the audience, okay, before the program began. Number 7th and 8th. Who will do it? 7th and 8th. Please raise your hands. G. Amna. Amna Shehbaz. Do the
Yes.
7th and 8th one. Better do the 7th and 8th one.
Okay.
If
The
there is a
painting
mistake.
hanging above the fireplace was made by my father.
Any mistake in this sentence? Do you think there is any mistake of preposition in this lesson? Because do you think there is any mistake of preposition in this sentence?
Above?
So what do we put in place of above?
Um,
This sentence is a correct sentence. The painting hanging above the fireplace was made by my father. There is no mistake in that. Now do the 8th one.
Walking along the river bank, she saw hundreds of crabs scurrying about. Hundreds of crabs.
Correct, good.
Can I
Hundreds
do the
of
next
crabs,
one?
thousands. Okay, Fatma.
Okay. The rope was tied securely at both ends at a height to about 100 meters. 1 second, teacher. Securely on both ends.
No. The rope was tied securely at both ends at a height of about. Okay, at a height of. He jumped at a height of 1,000 meters. You're using a number. Hundreds of people were watching him. Okay? Now, number 10th. Huh?
While we waited for the doctor, we watched a boring show on television.
That is correct. Obviously, we can't watch a show in television. We have to watch it on television screen. So on television, correct? Yes. Maham. Maham, do the 11th one.
Oh yeah. Yes, teacher.
Do the 11th one.
Yes. Don't save all your homework for the last few days of the vacation.
Any mistake?
No, I don't think so.
There is no mistake, correct? Do the 12th one.
Yeah?
Do the 12th one.
Okay. I put a coin on the beggar's bowl and was surprised to see him smile. There is also no mistake I found.
No, beta, it's I put a coin in the beggar's bowl. We pronounce it as bowl. Okay, not bow. I put a coin in. You are putting inside it. Okay, so I put a coin in the beggar's bowl and was surprised to see him smile. Now I'm going to repeat. Please check your answers. Okay. The show begins at 4 o'clock and we should reach the venue half an hour in advance. She won't talk to me until I promise never to laugh at her again. The lady sitting at the corner table with my mother is a famous writer. I went to see the film with my little... Please, no noise. I went to see the film with my little sister and she cried most of the time. The chief guest spoke a few words to the audience before the program began. Among all my cousins, I get along best with Nina. The painting hanging above the fireplace was made by my father. Walking along the river bank, she saw hundreds of crabs scurrying about. The rope was tied securely at both ends at a height of about 100 meters. While we waited for the doctor, we watched a boring show on television. Don't save all your homework for the last few days of the vacation. I put a coin in the beggar's bowl and was surprised to see him smile. So students, prepositions, I have told you, prepositions show relationship between two nouns, one noun, and a pronoun or the two pronouns. Okay, it is important to put preposition to indicate the relationship. We use different prepositions in add, above, across, beyond, for, from. Okay. For example, if I've told you the difference between prepositions of time, it's in, on, at, like in the afternoon, in the morning, in the evening, in Karachi with big cities, we put, or countries we put in. Okay. In with the month we put in April, in May, in June. With the year we put in 2020, in 2006, in 2005. Or it comes with days, on 23rd, on 24th, on 15th. On comes with day, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on the 23rd of May. In this, like this we put it. And similarly, at comes with small stations, at bus stop, at the airport, at the park, at the garden, at night, at 4 o'clock, at 5 o'clock. Okay. Then students, I've told you the difference between for and since. If we are using it as a time period, that I've told you, for comes with a period of time, like number, for 3 years, for 2 days, for a week, for 1 month. And since indicates point of time, since morning, since yesterday, since last week, since summer. Okay. Then we also did the difference between during, while. During indicates an action for a fixed time period, like during during the program, I went to see my little brother, means it was the fixed duration. Okay. I remained nervous during my exam is also for fixed time interval. While means something you are doing in continuation, like you are watching something. While cutting down the trees, I saw a little boy running on the path. Okay, like this. Then we use by use for like as a means of travel. I reached there by taxi, by car, by plane. Okay? And by indicates that something must be done till that time period. You have to submit the project by Monday, by Tuesday, by 2 o'clock. Okay, then you are not going to use at 4 o'clock. It means you are indicating, you're giving instructions that you have to do this work till that time period. Okay. Then we have also done the difference between, I hope that you have understood now, that with indicates with preposition with, means like you are with somebody. Okay, like he broke his relationship with Nina, or with Tina, or with anything like that. Okay. So student, now what you have to do, please go through this whole chapter. It's important. Prepositions gets confused sometimes, and there are different prepositions which you are going to study in class 9th as well. And in that you have to learn about, like with belief, what we are going to, like we believe in something, laugh at, uh, then you have to fond of, died of. Okay, accused of, thought of, height of. Okay, so in this way you have to remember all these prepositions. And the students who are not attending the classes, please make sure that these topics are not going to be repeated when the school reopens. So, okay, then you will face trouble. Only then there will be revision for your midterm exams. Then you are going to face trouble. So please, only I think 3 or 4 students are regular. Make yourself regular and attend all the classes. Now student, a very important chapter, don't open your books, and it's a confusing one also. It's chapter number 18, the sentence. Whenever we use the word the sentence, it means a group of words. Okay, a group of words which conveys complete meaning, with complete meaning. In class 7, we people did declarative sentences, assertive sentences, negative sentences, interrogative sentences, emphatic sentences. Okay, different types of sentences, imperative sentences, exclamatory sentences. But these sentences are not the types of sentences. We are going to discuss about how can we make a sentence. How can we make a simple sentence? How can we make a compound sentence, how can we make a complex sentence, how can we make a compound and complex sentences. So we are going to discuss all these 4 types of sentences. Okay, little bit confusing. Before starting this chapter, I've told you I'm going to ask you few questions related to non-finite verbs. We have done finite verbs and we have done non-finite verbs. So who is going to tell me the 3 types of non-finite verbs which we did? Raise your hands. What are the 3 types of non-finite verbs? Okay, Umema.
Gerund, participle, and infinitive.
Very good, Umema. These are the 3 types of participles. Oh, sorry, non-finite verbs: gerunds, infinitive, and participle. As I have told you, finite verb is limited by number of person, but non-finite verbs are not limited. They are not affected by the subject. Okay, Vita, can you tell me how do we, what is the formula for an infinitive? Yes, Umema? For infinitive?
Yes.
Fatma, Vita, what is an infinitive? Okay, yes, Iman, you tell me what is an infinitive?
Teacher, in an imperative, we use to with the base verb.
Very good. We use to with the base verb, like to go, to come, to smile, to laugh, to wonder, to see, to help. Okay? And there are some bare infinitives. What is the meaning of bare infinitive? Amna Shehbaz, what is the meaning of bare infinitive? G. Fatma?
Teacher, that don't have to.
Canada.
Okay, that is correct answer. The infinitives
teacher?
without to are called bare infinitives. Yes, Fatma?
I want to ask one more question. Teacher, not
Yes,
from
go
this
ahead.
chapter.
Mm-hmm.
On page number 25, exercise L.
One second.
Please open it.
Okay. You have asked me before this one also.
Yes.
Make correct sentences as directed. Use simple present to refer to the future. The flight leaves at 9:30 a.m. In this way, you have to write it down.
What
Okay?
we
The
have
flight
to do
leaves.
in these sentences?
You have to do it according to the instructions which are given in the bracket. For example, the first sentence is the flight leaves at 9:30 a.m. You have to make it positive. Positive is a simple sentence. Like I go to the park,
Yes.
I eat bread. Okay? So flight is
Teacher,
singular.
लेकिन
We are going to put S with leave. हाँ जी बेटा.
ये तो सारे वैसे ही लिखे हैं जैसे कि सेकंड सेंटेंस में आगे इंटरोगेटिव लिखा है और at what
I'm
time the
telling
movie
you
starts.
how you. No, you have to put do or does. It's simple present.
Okay.
Okay. The flight leaves at 9:30 a.m. At what time does the movie start? Okay. Then you have to put a question. The
Okay.
flight not leave for an hour. The flight has not left for an hour yet, or the flight does not leave for an hour yet. You have to put it negative. Okay? We are going to use
Yes.
simple present tense. Now you understand, Fatma? Like, do we
Can
have a
we do
test
the
on
rest?
Thursday? Yes, you can do it, but right now we have to finish it. Haven't we finished this whole chapter?
Teacher, we have finished it, but you gave this exercise homework. Then I don't
In
understand
homework. Okay. So we have done this in future continuous. Okay, inshallah tomorrow now what we will do after completing that chapter now we will do it once again. Because there's a when inshallah your school will open, then I'm thinking that we are going to revise this chapter. Okay?
Okay, I will remind you.
Now students, where were we? I was asking you. Now what is a gerund? Yes, Iman, what is a gerund?
Teacher, in a gerund, the noun is the verb is used as a noun.
Yes, it is a verbal noun. And how do we form it?
Teacher, we form it by a base verb, helping verb.
By putting ing. Base verb with ing. Okay? Now I'll repeat again. Now students, when we use the word finite verbs, Finite verbs are the main verbs. For example, if I say I live here, so live is the finite verb, the main verb. He likes chocolates, so likes is a finite verb, the main word. Okay. She is my class fellow. Is the finite verb. Some students are confused, like we are using is as a helping verb. Is used as a helping verb, but in sentences where there are no other verb, then is, am, are, was, were, they are used as main verbs, means finite verbs. Okay. For example, the professor teaches English. So teaches is a finite verb. Then we classify the non-finite verbs as participles, gerunds, and infinitive. Infinitive, as Fatma, Iman, and Umema told, that infinitive when we are putting to with the base verb, the first form of verb. We did bare infinitive. Bare infinitive means when we are not putting to with the base verb, with the first form of verb. Okay. Then I've told you the difference between gerunds and participles. Both formation is the same. Okay, like in gerund we are also putting ing, in participle we are also putting ing. Okay, but I've told you the basic difference between gerund and participle is that gerund is a verbal noun and participle is a verbal adjective. Okay, so participle is serving the purpose of adjective and gerund is serving the purpose of a noun. Both are verbs because both are non-finite verbs. Okay, so both are verbs, but gerund is a verbal noun, participle is a verbal adjective. So this difference must be clear. Why I'm telling you this thing? Because in the sentences, in this chapter, it's a difficult chapter. So you have to change sentences into participle phrases. You have to change sentences into adjectives, into infinitives, using things like that. So all these things must be clear to you people. Okay. If you have to change a sentence into participle, then you can change it into three ways. As we have done present participle, past participle, and perfect participle. In present participle, we put only ing. For example, walking on the street, comma, I saw a beggar. Walking on the street, I saw a beggar. Walking on the road, I saw a beggar. So walking, I have changed a sentence. For example, how I saw a beggar, I was walking on the road. So how I have changed it, walking on the road, I saw a beggar. Okay. Now, if you have to change into a past participle, you have to use the third form of verb. Past participle is the third form of verb. Walked, turned, defeated, encouraged, things like that. And perfect participle, you have to put having with the third form. Having seen, having known, having done. Okay? In this way. Now, student, the four types. Sentence is a group of words which conveys complete meaning or sense. It includes a subject and predicate. The four types of sentences: simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, compound complex sentence. First of all, we come to simple sentence. Simple sentence is one which has one finite word. It has one finite word. Okay, it's a simple sentence. And it contains one single independent clause. Okay, single independent clause means which is not dependent on the other and which is giving complete meaning. Dependent clause means which does not give the complete meaning. Independent clause means which conveys complete meaning. Okay, it has one subject and one finite word. Okay, what is a subject? Who is doing the action? What is coming in the start of a sentence? Now you can see this example. John lives near to my house. I like cooking. He saw the most amazing sights in Muddy. Lives, like, saw. Finite verbs. John, I, he. Subject. And this is one sentence. Simple sentence. I go to the market. I read an interesting story. I like to read interesting stories. He's my cousin. She's my best friend. These are all simple sentences because they have only one independent clause and one subject and one verb. Do you understand what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence has one independent clause, with having one subject and one finite verb. Do you understand? Is this simple sentence clear to you people? The simple sentence can be positive, can be negative, can be interrogative. For example, John lives near to my house. John does not live near to my house. Does John live near to my house? I like cooking. I do not like cooking. Do I like cooking? He saw the most amazing sights in Murray. He did not see the most amazing sights in Murray. Did he see the most amazing sights in Murray? Beta, simple sentence includes all the three types. Means positive. Positive is also known as affirmative. Positive is also known as assertive. Positive is also known as declarative. Which I'll tell you later. I'll ask, I'll confirm, and then I will let you know. Okay? G. Any confusion? Any confusion? Simple sentence is clear to everybody? I do not want you people to be confused. If you have any confusion, you can raise your hand and ask me. Okay. Now I'll go further. Now compound sentence. Compound. Compound means two or more than two. Okay? Now, when we say simple, simple means one independent clause. One. Compound means more than one. Okay? A compound sentence is made up of two or more independent clauses which are joined by coordinating conjunction. Student, coordinating conjunctions are 7 in numbers, which I have written over here. But, and, or, yet, nor, so, for. You can see the examples. How can I make it into simple sentences? Ali went to the market, one independent clause. Ahmad went to the market, second independent clause. Now, how I have joined the two like conjunctions. Remember conjunctions chapter? So it is like that. I have joined the two independent clauses using a coordinating conjunction. Ali and Ahmed, because both the subjects are doing the same action. Ali is going to the market. Ahmed is also going to the market. So what I will write, Ali and Ahmed went to the market. Here I have joined the two independent clauses. Okay. Ali went to the market. Ahmed went to the market. Ali and Ahmed went to the market. It was raining. Full stop. I took an umbrella. Now how I'm going to join it? As it was raining or it was raining, so I took an umbrella. Okay. Rabia was sick. Rabia was sick. She completed her assignment. Rabia was sick, but she completed her assignment. Telling a difference. Telling a difference. So students, compound sentence is used, uses two independent clauses and which are joined by coordinating conjunctions, which are 7 in number, but, and, or, yet, nor, so, and for. Do you understand? Now, before going further, first of all, we are going to do exercise related to simple sentences and compound sentences so that you people will be clear. In the slide, you can also see compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses. These are the definition which are going to come in the paper. Okay, what is the difference between a simple sentence and a compound sentence? A simple sentence has one independent clause. It has one subject and one finite verb. Compound sentence has two or more independent clauses which are joined by coordinating conjunctions. For example, the boys went to the park, but they did not go to the zoo. For, and, nor, but, or, yet. So these are called the coordinating conjunctions. Okay. Now we are not going on simple complex sentences. So before going further, we are going to do first exercise. Yes, this exercise. Now students, all of you first open your books. You have to tick mark the things which I'm going to tell you, which you have to do it, which you have to revise it. Page 103. First of all, take the definition of page 103. Take the definition of the simple sentence. A simple sentence contains a single complete independent clause with one finite verb and a single subject. Examples, you can write any example. It's not essential. I really encourage if you write your own examples because these are very simple. You can easily write. Jamal is the best cricketer in the school. Like you can say, Saima is the best student in our class. Okay, like this. I saw the most amazing sights in Africa. Combining simple sentences to form other simple sentences. Also tick mark this you for not learning or for not writing it down, but for just for understanding. Sometimes two or more simple sentences can be joined together to form a more interesting simple sentence. However, it will still contain only one finite verb and one independent clause. It is extremely important that you should understand that when we are joining a simple sentence to form other simple sentences, like if we are turning them into a participle or we are using the infinitive form, then it should have only one finite verb and one independent clause. Turn over the next page. The present participle, which I have told you. The present participle is formed by adding the suffix ing to the base form of the verb. All of you know this thing. The falling tree, the crying child, the dancing girl. Past participle, simply remember that it is the third form of verb. We form it by adding en, ed, p to the base form of regular verb. Played, learned. Though participles resemble verbs, they perform the function of adjectives. Exercise A. I will tell you how to do it, and you can try. Change the word in one of the sentences into a participle or participle phrase. Students, you have to change. These are the two single sentences. He sprang up, he sped away. Two simple sentences. One is sprang, finite verb. One is sped, finite verb. Now, you have to join them like this, that it should have one finite verb and one independent clause using participle. So you can write it like this: springing up, comma, he sped away. Springing up, comma, he sped away. Now, springing is the participle, it is not the finite verb. Springing up, comma, he, one subject, sped, one finite verb, and one independent clause. Springing up, comma, he sped away. Second sentence, I received no response, I called out loudly again. Having received no response, comma, I called out loudly again. Do you understand, students? Yes. Yes, Fatma?
टीचर यहाँ पार्टिसिपल लिखे है इसलिए हमने इस तरह चेंज किया है, नहीं तो हम इस तरह चेंज कर सकते हैं. He sprang up and sped away.
A coordinating conjunction, then it is a compound sentence. We can do it like that, but they have mentioned it. Now you have to change it into a participle or participle phrase. And if I write he sprang up and sped away, then we are not putting any participle. You know now what is a participle?
Yes.
We are putting ing. Okay? So you have to change the first one. Now having either you can put ing with the word, having with the third form of verb. Okay? And with a where
Teacher,
there is
can...
was.
Yes.
Yes.
What are you saying?
You can say. You can tell. What are you asking?
Any ing or ed, past participle or present.
Depending how you are going to join it. If the action is in continuation, down in your exercise, it was in verb is changed into being. B-double-E-N-B. For example, in the third exercise, he was exhausted. So you will write having been exhausted. Okay, it is past participle. Perfect participle. Was and were are changed into being. Okay. Now, almost I've told you the three sentences. The first one is springing up, comma, he sped away. Number second sentence, having received no response, comma, I called out loudly again. Number three, having been exhausted, comma, he decided to stop studying. Now the fourth one. Who will do the fourth one? Yes, Iman. Do the fourth one.
He injured his leg, he stopped playing football. His leg being injured, he stopped playing football.
No, you are going to write having injured his leg, he stopped playing football. Okay, because he has done the action. Having injured his playing football because the action is completed. Yes, who will do the last one? Umema? The police arrived on the scene, the crowd melted away. Little bit confusing because the police arrived on the scene, the crowd melted away. The police having arrived on the scene, comma, the crowd melted away. Okay, we can write it in this manner. The police having arrived on the scene, comma, the crowd melted away. Now student, exercise B, you have to combine each of the following pairs of simple sentences into one simple sentence. In any way you can combine it.